Introduction. Ernest Hemingway, a name synonymous with rugged masculinity, terse prose, and the lost generation. But behind the iconic image of the bearded adventurer lies a complex, often contradictory figure. Today, we delve beyond the surface, uncovering the hidden depths of Hemingway's life, the struggles that fueled his art, and the secrets he carried to his grave. Early life and influences. Oak Park origins. Born in 1899 in Oak Park, Illinois, a seemingly conventional suburb, Hemingway's childhood was far from ordinary. His mother, Grace Hall Hemingway, was an opera singer and dominated the household, dressing young Ernest and his sister Mosseline as twins. This early blurring of gender roles might have contributed to his later obsession with proving his masculinity. Did this influence his writing? The wilderness beckons. His summers in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, however, were transformative. He learned to hunt, fish, and immerse himself in nature, experiences that would shape his writing and his persona. This wasn't just recreation, it was a deep connection to the raw, untamed world, a stark contrast to the structured life at home. Ambulance driver and war trauma. Rejecting college, Hemingway volunteered as an ambulance driver in World War I. This wasn't just patriotism, it was a thirst for experience, a desire to witness life at its most intense. The explosion that injured him in Italy left physical and psychological scars, contributing to a lifelong struggle with trauma and anxiety. This experience was the foundation of his novel A Farewell to Arms. Hidden fact. He often kept shrapnel from the explosion as a reminder of his near-death experience. It was said he carried it with him for many years. The Lost Generation and Literary Rise. Paris and literary mentors. In the 1920s, Hemingway joined the Lost Generation in Paris, a vibrant community of expatriate writers and artists. He was mentored by Gertrude Stein, who famously told him, "Remarks are not literature." This advice shaped his minimalist style, a style that stripped language to its bare essentials. The bullfight and the code hero. His fascination with bullfighting in Spain wasn't just a spectacle, it was a metaphor for life and death, courage and grace. He developed the concept of the code hero, a man who faces adversity with stoicism and dignity. This code, however, was often a mask for his own insecurities. Multiple marriages and turbulent relationships, Hemingway's personal life was as tumultuous as his writing. He married 4 times, each relationship marked by passion and conflict. His relationships were often mirrored in his novels. The women in his life were strong, but he often clashed with them, reflecting his own internal conflicts. Hidden fact, he was a cat lover, having dozens of cats at his Finca Vigia home in Cuba. Many of them were polydactyl, having extra toes. He named them after famous people. The later years and decline. The Spanish Civil War and World War II. Hemingway's coverage of the Spanish Civil War and his involvement in World War II further fueled his legend. He wasn't just a reporter, he was a participant, often blurring the lines between observer and combatant. His actions were driven by a need to be at the center of the action, to prove his own courage. The Nobel Prize and physical decline. The Nobel Prize in Literature in 1954 was a crowning achievement, but his health was deteriorating. He suffered from the lingering effects of his war injuries, as well as the consequences of his hard-living lifestyle. He suffered from high blood pressure, liver damage, and depression. Paranoia and mental health struggles. In his final years, Hemingway struggled with severe depression and paranoia. He was convinced he was being followed by the FBI, a suspicion that, while exaggerated, had some basis in reality. The FBI did have a file on him. His mental health declined rapidly. Hidden fact, he underwent electroconvulsive therapy, ECT, at the Mayo Clinic, which he claimed robbed him of his memory and creativity. He expressed regret for having had the treatments. The tragic end and legacy. Suicide and lingering questions. On July 2, 1961, Ernest Hemingway took his own life with a shotgun. The suicide was a tragic end to a life filled with adventure and pain. Many wondered why, despite his success and fame, he was so troubled. Could it have been his family history, as his father also committed suicide? Or was it the compounding effects of his trauma and mental illness? The enduring influence. Despite his flaws and contradictions, Hemingway's impact on literature is undeniable. His minimalist style, his exploration of masculinity, and his unflinching portrayal of the human condition continue to resonate with readers today. He changed literature forever. Hidden fact: after his death, his fourth wife, Mary Welsh Hemingway, recovered unfinished manuscripts, which were published posthumously, including A Movable Feast and Islands in the Streamed. Outro. Ernest Hemingway's life was a paradox, a blend of bravado and vulnerability, triumph and tragedy. He was a man who sought adventure, but was haunted by his own demons. His legacy reminds us that even the most iconic figures are human, flawed, and complex.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe my channel for more videos. The thing I want to ask that I have started to make detailed summary videos of different literary works. Please subscribe to get updates about new made videos. Thanks again.